Thank you for listening. I highly value problem solving as a sound designer. Please allow me to provide a breakdown of the project where I talk about the problems I encountered and how I solved them. The goal for this project was to take the Unity Space Shooter tutorial and replace the current sounds, as well as add new sounds and functions via C# scripting. My limitations for the project were to only use the Sylenth1 VST, a subtractive synthesizer, and minimal processing. The challenge was that I had neither experience in Unity or any programming at all. Thus, I needed to learn Unity, C#, and the structure of the tutorial itself. To start, I created 4 looped and 5 one-shot sounds in Reaper. Next was implementation, where some of the larger problems lay, specifically 4. The first problem was that the player object was originally scripted to destroy upon colliding with the enemy or its laser bolts. This would cause all sound to cut off because the audio listener was attached to the player game object. The solution I found was to create an audio listener object and then write a script enabling it to follow the transform of the player game object. When the player is destroyed, the audio listener object would remain. The second problem was figuring out how to automate low-pass filters and volume envelopes according to the distance from the player game object to other objects in the scene. The solution was simple enough as Unity has built-in controls for this. I merely tweaked these settings for each game object in isolation by turning off the game objects that I was not working on. The third problem was panning the audio sources without it sounding too extreme. The solution was to use the spread function under 3D sound settings set to 150. This reduced the extremeness of the stereo spread while maintaining the low pass and volume attenuations of 3D sound spatialization. The fourth problem was randomizing clips and pitch. The solution involved learning more C# and making sure I knew how the current script system worked for the tutorial. By adding my custom programming to the already existing scripts, I was able to create clip and pitch randomization with public variables on the prefab game objects themselves. The last step was further tweaking sounds and mixing them using Unity's built-in mixer functions. Thank you again for listening.